So traders, for me, when I'm looking at the markets, I'm always looking for opportunities of markets that's likely to make big moves. One of the big things about actually trading the markets for me is that I understand that there's two types of scenarios, right? We can either one, try to jump in on a move that's already happening and already has happened for quite some time. Or two, we can try to look for those opportunities that's likely to make a big move, and we can just keep an eye out for that, because when it does trigger, boom, we can start to do really well. And I want to share with you one market right now, or one indice right now, that we need to keep an eye out for, because if it does break the significant resistance we're seeing, then I truly believe that we're likely to see really, really, really big moves in the markets from there. So what I want to talk to you about here is, let's actually look at here. So we're looking at the 4 different indices right now across the markets, right? We're looking at the NASDAQ, S&P, Dow, and Russell, okay? So as I said before, guys, like the big thing for me is that I'm looking for trading opportunities. I'm looking basically my trading setup, my trading pattern, and I teach you all that for free in that free trading course. That's that first thing in the description. I'm giving away my free trading course for you to help you. And again, I teach you all my trading system for free there. But the whole thing about my whole approach here is that I'm always on the alert, the lookout for not only just my trading setup, but my trading setup in the mix of where it's likely to make a big move, right? And so, for example, like I'm in 2 trades right now, and just with a bit of patience, these have the potential of making a big move, right? Because that's what we want to see, right? We want to be in opportunities like I am right now. I'm in 2 opportunities right now that is likely to make a big move, right? We never know exactly. We don't know exactly what's going to come, but what we can do is put us in the best position that if we can get in the trades that's likely to make a big move, right? Even if only 50% of those make the big move, now it's a winner, chicken dinner, right? Right? And especially when you start to overlay things like options, where you can start to pick up, really good returns on the options and keep your losses small. It's a winner there, right? So as we can see through here, if I let me bring up this chart. Let's go back to this chart here, okay? And actually, you know what? Let's actually do this here. I'll bring up this chart here for a moment, and let's actually bring up, we're looking at gold right now. There's so many opportunities around these markets, guys, okay? So if we look at this here, right? So I'm looking at, this right now is the weekly chart, okay? And we're looking at the weekly chart. This is the weekly of the Dow Jones right now, okay? And so the Dow Jones has actually already broken above its significant high point, okay? Check this out. This is where it gets really, really cool. So notice we actually had this high back here, right? And this is what markets do, right? You'll notice that there's a similar pattern through all this. And when we start to identify these patterns, we can look for opportunities, right? So that's what this is all here, because I believe over the next maybe next month or so, there's going to be a really good opportunity to benefit from a good trade that's likely to last maybe a couple of months or more, right? Because that's what my trading is all about. My personal trading is not trading a lot. I'm not trying to trade a lot. I'm trying to get into a trade that I can hold it for a couple of months, make a big profit on that one trade. Instead of trading 20 times to make all the small profits, I'm looking for that one really good trade, let it go, and that's how you have a successful year, right? You have a successful year by trying to identify those opportunities. Now, here's the thing. This is where it gets really, really awesome, okay? Look at this here. It's similar patterns do similar things, right? So for example, what did the Dow Jones do? Right? The Dow Jones did done, right? The Dow Jones did this, okay? This is where it gets really, really awesome. Firstly, we made the high what? That was the high point up there, wasn't it? Right? End of 2021, that was the high point. We came down, right? We came down, and we actually did what? Went sideways, didn't we? Now, here's where it gets really awesome, by the way, as well, too. Check this out. So we go from the low point, to the low point to the high point. And as you can see, we actually did, this one here was actually less than 50%, right? Less than 50% retracement, right? And you see some of the indices actually did 50% retracement, but check this out. This is where it gets really awesome. So we came down 50% retracement, but look at this here. We just basically went sideways, didn't we? Now, what happened once we broke above the previous highs? We started what? We started a nice upward phase, right? Really, really awesome. Now, let's go check this out. NASDAQ, right? What did NASDAQ do? From the low to the high, NASDAQ did what? NASDAQ actually came down to 50 to 60% level, held, but what happened here? Check this out. What happened once we actually broke above the highs? We actually had a nice, broke above the highs, we had a nice move up, right? Now let's go to the S&P 500. S&P 500 is quite similar to the Dow Jones, but the Dow Jones is exactly not that there, right? And so that was the high point up here. That was that high point late 2021. But what happened? What happened after we really we came down, came up, right? Had all this sideways movement, a lot of volatility. What happens once we broke the high? We're in for a big move. Now, this is where it gets really awesome, right? Now, this is what I'm about to show you guys is one market that I'm looking at, right? This is just one market that I'm keeping an eye on for because it could be an amazing opportunity, right? I'm also scanning the entire other markets out, or all the stocks, you know, all the things that I'm looking at right now and things that I'm keeping an eye for right now. I'm keeping an eye on all of that because for me personally, guys, when I'm trading the markets, I'm scanning all the markets, right? I'm looking at crypto markets. I'm looking at some of the foreign exchange pairs. I'm looking at commodity prices. I'm looking at gold and silver. Because for me, guys, is like, for me, again, like I'm not looking to trade a lot. In my entire coaching program, that if you're interested in joining that for all of 2025, if you're looking for more hand holding, more mentoring, more coaching, and when it comes down to emotional support, meaning like emotional management, trade management, you know, all the finer details that goes to become a good trader, right? Like letting your profits run, cutting your losses short, how to identify a good opportunity, get better. If you're interested in joining that 12-month process, then you may be a good fit for that. There's the link in the description there, because that's what I'm all about, right? My coaching clients are all about how to identify good opportunities that's likely to make a big move. How do I capitalize on it? So how do I capitalize on it so I can actually let the profits run while keeping my emotions in check, so I can let the profits run. But then how do I cut my losses short? What do I look for, and so on and so forth? Because there's two different things we need to master, don't we? Trade selection. What is my trade selection? And then trade management, right? How do we manage the trade properly to let the profit maximize? And that's where the whole level of skill comes involved there, right? So with the S&P 500, look what happened here. We broke above the previous high, right? That's where it gets really, really awesome, right? So I'm not saying we're definitely going to do this, guys, but if we do, right? King Russell, look at King Russell. What's King Russell been doing? And this is where guys, it gets so awesome, right? That was the previous highs up there, right? That was the 2021 highs, and we broke above here. Now I'm talking about the if scenarios, right? We don't know definitely what's going to happen here, but if, right? If we do continue to hold here and continue to move up, and we break above these highs, guess what's likely to come? Especially look what happened here, right? It came down to this level through here. And what did it do? It came down, it held the support level, 50% held, and now we're pushing back to the upside. If the Russell, this short-term little drop in the Russell, if we do get the turnaround here, right, and we start to push back to the upside here, just like the other indices, what happens once we break above the high? We went for a nice move, right? And so for me, when I'm looking at the markets here, this is obviously the weekly chart here, that's when I start to say, oh, there could be a really good opportunity here, right? For me, for my personal trading anyway. So see what I did just there, right? So look in the context of what the market does and how this sort of forms here. But then what happens here is that now I'm looking for my opportunities. And once again, this is the daily charts here with my moving averages on here. But if we just start to maybe rally, if we hold here and we rally back up and do something like this and then maybe get a bit of a breakout, I'm personally looking for opportunities, because once we break above there, that could be the start of what, as I said before, a really big move. Because once again, look at this here. That there, that was the 2021 high. Once we broke, we had a big move. NASDAQ, right? That was the 2021 high there. Once it broke, we had started a nice move. And even the Dow Jones did this, right? Now the Dow Jones is really close and similar to what the Russell's doing. And if this is going to be a broad-based bull market that's likely to start, like that's happening right now, if this is a broad-based bull market, we're likely to see a really big move out of the markets here. And as you can see, that once we actually broke that high, we actually had to move up. And now again, with the with the Dow Jones, the Dow Jones is very, 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 very similar to the Russell, right? Meaning like we actually ran up, but we just did this whole nothing going on for quite some time. If we go back to the Russell here, the Russell has done through there, and if we go back to the weekly chart through here once again, look here, we came down, came back up. We really are not really doing much from here. So if the Russell does hold here, guys, I'm telling you right now, one of the greatest trades through the markets, one of the greatest trades could be the one, could be the Russell out of that level through there. Again, we just need to wait for that. If we just start to break above the previous high, it could be one of the greatest trades. And one of the reasons why on a sentiment level, cement, sentimented, whatever, can't say that word. No one's, firstly, if you're a Russell investor, you're getting frustrated, right? You're like, oh man, everything else is booming but Russell. So people probably leaving the Russell, right? And then secondly, people are like, why would I get involved with the Russell? Why not go trade Bitcoin? Bitcoin's already making a big move. Let me get into that thing there, right? So as we know, right, we want to get into things before they make big moves. Once it's already made a really big move, like, a 60,000 Bitcoin goes to 100 or something thousand, that's already made the big move, right? You missed out on the opportunity, right? Now you need to wait for that next big move to come. So my opportunities is that as I'm scanning not just this, but all the individual stocks and so on and so forth, I'm always looking for those opportunities that's likely to make a big move from there. So traders, if you do need some help with your trading, then you may be a good fit for my 12-month Inner Circle coaching program. If you click on that second link in the description there, or if you go to getjohnshelp.com, you see all the details about that, what's involved with it. You see my real equity curve, you see the testimonials, and also if you scroll down on the bottom, you get to know a bit more about who I am and what's my background and stuff like that as well too. So if you do need some help, guys, across all of that, then I know my coaching program could be a really, really good fit for you. So go book a call right now, guys, and I look forward to speaking to you real soon.